Hey guys, welcome to Cards and Sharps. How y'all doing? Good, glad to hear it. Alright, we have here a fossil. Fossil is old bones of dinosaurs or whatever, I guess. But this one is actually a CRKT fossil. And this is a Flavio Icoma design knife with CRKT. And I had seen pictures of these in catalogs and online, and had not had a chance to get my hands on one. And finally seen one out in the wild at a good price, and I had to pick it up. As you guys know, I have a little knife shop and do buy and sell knives and all that good stuff. And CRKT is not one of the knives I'm able to get as a dealer, and so I don't get them for wholesale. So I'm always looking for good deals on them, and I do like CRKT knives. If you've watched some previous videos, I'm quite fond of a couple of different ones. And I think they're usually really good enough as long as you're able to pick them up at a good price. Now, this one seems to generally retail for about 56 to 60 bucks. And they got a couple of different variations. This one is the 5470, and you can see that maybe there, right there on the flipper. And it also shows you it's an Icoma design. And it is a really cool looking knife. I had seen pictures of it and all that texturing. I guess it's made to look like a fossil material, and it's even got some like hammering or grinding on the frame. So it has a really cool look to it, and just thought it looked, and I liked the shape and the style of the blade. The handle just has a really nice rugged look to it. Alright, let's check out some of the stats here. Coming in at just over 8.5 inches, getting close to 9 inches overall length open. The blade length is just under 4 inches, 3.96. And it's a pretty heavy stock. It's a 0.15, it says there. Let's just verify that with the take it off millimeter. It was on millimeter. Okay, yeah, 0.14 and some change. So that tells me my calipers are working pretty good, and they're spot on the blade thickness. And we got drop point style, satin finish, plain edge with a little kind of a recurve going on almost there. Nice little wave to it. Makes that a good cutting design. The handle material, these part here, looks like an old fossilized wood maybe, but it is actually G10. And the frame is and liners are going to be stainless steel. And you can see it's a flipper operated. Now here's one of the first drawbacks for this thing. It is 6.10 ounces according to the specs, and let's check that out. I'm coming in just under 6 there, so it's pretty right on the weight. So yeah, that's so that makes it a pretty robust, stout knife, but it doesn't feel overly uncomfortable open and in your hand, and I love that the shape of the handle, and you got the cutouts there for your fingers, so you can get in there and really get it. You feel like you have a really good hold on it, and you got so much texturing that it does feel very comfortable in the hand. And really open, and when you're using it, I don't think the weight is going to feel like that big of a deal. Where the weight's going to come in is carrying that thing in your pocket. I typically like to go 4 ounces and under for daily carry. I'm not seeing this one as necessarily a daily carry. I'm seeing this one maybe if I'm going to go outside, out the woods, or fishing, or hunting, or something like that. We'll carry that. I mean, it would be a very utilitarian knife. It's heavy enough that you can do pretty much anything work-wise with it, and you don't feel like you're gonna do any damage. And it comes very sharp out of the box as well. It's just, yeah, you can see it just easily through paper. Very sharp out of the box. And now let's get into one reason in which I like CRKT. I've got other CRKT knives. I've got Pilar, I love it. I've got the Ruger LCK, or I think that's what it's called. Love that one. I've got the Carson M16. Nice knife. And none of them were overly expensive. And if you shop around, you can usually pick them up in the sub $30 range. One reason I shop pretty hard. One, I'm paying full price, full retail for them. Two, they continue to use 8CR 13 MOV, which I'm not a steel snob, but it is not a premium steel for blades. So, and I don't have I carry knives all the time with that steel without any problem. It's just that it's a budget steel, so when I'm getting a knife with that material, I'm expecting to pay a budget price. And you get into the $60 range, and you're starting to leave budget territory. But it's kind of relative, what you're getting. You're getting a lot of knife here for the money, and it really nice action. It's a good fidget knife, easy to operate one-handed. The liner lock, you can see, locks up good 50%, good solid lockup, and that flipper action with that, especially that big blade, is just real little effort, and you get a nice detent. What makes that flipper action so good is the IKBS bearings, and it just works really smooth. And we'll have to try it out and see if I'm pretty familiar with 8CR edge isn't going to retain as well as your premium steels, but then on the other hand, it's not a bear to sharpen either. So for the price I got this knife at, I got it in a little under $40. So that when I found it at that price, at good old Walmart. I had to go ahead and pick one up and see what I think of it, because I've loved the looks of these, and it looks like it just has that very outdoorsy, rugged look to it. Got a nice clip here that's close to deep carry. You just got a little bit of the handle's going to be poking up there, poking its head out of your pocket, so not bad. And it's heavy enough, it's going to hang down in there probably pretty well. Now, one issue some of you may have is that texturing on the handle is as aggressive as it is with that pocket clip. You take this in and out a lot, and I could see it becoming an issue with fraying or wearing the edges of your pocket. There's no relief cutting the frame, no holes other than these right here that appears to be that what they are there for is just to provide a little bit of weight reduction. You got this cut out in the blade here that I suppose you could double as a thumb hole if you wanted it to, but I don't know why you would when you got the easy flipper there. Then that flipper's got jimping on it, which makes it really handy. Wet hands, blood on your hands, whatever, or if you're wearing gloves, it'd be easy to flip it. It's got some jimping here on the back of the blade, and then you got that jimping on the flipper that works as a finger guard, and you just really have a real good, and with that texturing on the G10 there, you just have really good purchase on that, and it's not going to slip at all. I mean, you could feel like you could fight a bear and not have any problem holding on to the grip. And speaking of fighting a bear, that blade is robust enough. You could probably come close to tangling with a bear with it. And it has almost like a nice, I mean, it's so solid that almost has a nice fixed blade feel to it. Good hunting knife feel. Don't know for myself if this would make a daily carry. Let's compare it to some daily carry type knives. We got the Venerable Delica there. Everybody's familiar with it. You can see it's just quite a bit bigger overall. Then we got the good old Rat 2. It and the Delica both nice lightweight knives, easy to carry in the pocket without weighing you down. And then closest in size is going to be the Rat 1. They're about the same length handle wise, and blade wise they're going to be about pretty similar, but actually the Fossil's got a little bit of length on the Rat as far as blade. And I will say this, as much as I like the Rat, especially for outdoor applications, and things like that, this just feels a lot sturdier. And the grip, the handle just feels better. And I've never had any issues with how the Rat feels in my hand, but this one just feels, I mean, the grip on it, it's hard to tell you how nicely your hand feels on that, as far as how secure and confidence I think you have in that grip. And I had a kind of wondered that when seeing the pictures. I thought just the shape of the handle and the texturing on it, I thought it might give you that. I didn't know if it'd have some hot spots. Really, you can just feel a little bit of the clip there in your hand. But other than that, there's really no hot spots. Just good firm grip. And as far as finishing, everything's finished out real nice. No sharp edges on the frame anywhere. Nice rounding, the little bit of sharpness there on the back of the blade, but nothing I think that's going to really cause you any issues. And then the liner lock is easy to manipulate and feels pretty good. Tight, very solid feeling. And this fits in with CRKT. I have not really come across any CRKTs that I thought were poorly put together. And this as well does not feel poorly put together. Good quality as far as the workmanship and all that, and materials for the most part. Like I said, they keep them in that budget realm by using some budget steels. If they could just step up a little, maybe to D2 or something like that. I think this knife with like a S30V or something like that could easily be a $150 knife. But then again, it wouldn't be as affordable. And it just comes down to how much more you're willing to pay for the more premium steels. At the price I got this, $39.99 or whatever it was, feels like a good value to me. If you're getting them in once it gets up into the $50 range, it starts. It comes down to, there's a lot of knives in that range, and a lot of them with D2. But this one does feel, especially with those ball bearing pivot, it just feels really, really nice. But yeah, I think I'll definitely give this a try. One, it just such a nice looking knife, and I think you round the buddies and you pull that out. That's going to be a a very nice knife to look at and get probably some oohs and ahs out of them. So it's pretty cool. One thing I do notice here, it's got almost a solid back spacer here. I don't really let that bother me. I know some people don't care for that because you can capture lint and stuff like that, and then you have to get in there with a Q-tip or something like that to clean it. And this one's got enough space there that I don't think you're going to have any problem with getting a Q-tip in there and just wiping it out every now and then. Doesn't bother me. I use a Delica a lot, and if you look in there now, it's probably got some lint and whatnot in it. That's just one of those things. Maybe you prefer one or the other, but maybe it's not a big deal to you. It's not a real big deal to me. No lanyard hoe or anything like that. I guess you could maybe hang one from the clip if you wanted to. And that clip is only tip up and for righties only. Otherwise, being a flipper, it could easily be an ambidextrous knife, but you lefties are going to have to carry it in your right pocket. No provision there to flip that clip over. All in all, pretty impressed with this. Like I said, I have seen pictures of them. Had never even seen one on a table at a knife show or anything like that. And there's been a few times I thought about ordering one online, and then they were out of them. So I assumed it must be a fairly popular knife. So, and I can see why. Just really nice looking knife all the way around. And I think that's one that will not mind having in my personal collection. And probably even get a fair amount of use. Not seeing it as a regular daily carry, but it will definitely be a situational carry. Actually, that might end up in my backpack, because that'd be a knife that if I ever do have to use the equipment that I carry in that daily, then this would be a good one for that. Whether it's catch yourself out and you need to pry something open, or cut a can, or chop down a little tree or some limbs, or make some kindling, something like that. This looks like that would do it. But definitely we'll try it out outdoors and give it some use there. And perhaps I'll come back and report on it if it's anything super exceptional, or if it's just terrible, turns out to be terrible, which don't see that. It just really feels, I tell you, I've paid a lot more money for some knives that don't feel as nice as that one, for sure, and don't have as good of action as that. So I'm feeling better and better. Really didn't look this over after I got it. I wanted to kind of let you guys see me get my first impressions with it, other than at the store when they took it out of the case. I opened and closed it a couple of times. Other than that, really didn't get a chance to look it over for a real good impression. So as I go on here, I'm more and more tickled with my pickup. So watch for this knife popping up later in some of the stuff that I carry at times, or in my personal collection knives. So hope you guys enjoyed that and found that useful. I'm not even sure how long that knife's been out. I'm sure there's probably a lot of videos on it. And they got a couple of different variations. I know, I'm not sure what the difference is in those. This is the one I had seen, and I'm assuming they probably make a little bit smaller one, would be my guess. From other than that, I don't know what variations they would have. But hope you guys enjoyed that, found it useful. If you get a chance, pick this up at a good price. I would definitely recommend it. Even at full retail, it still seems like it's a pretty good deal. Alright guys, that is all I got. If you enjoyed this video, give me that thumbs up, and subscribe. We love subscribers out there. We got new stuff coming out all the time. Free knife guys and EDC stuff. We got try to do something at least a couple of times a week as things present itself, and the other subjects I do, cards and other things, we'll do those as it's topical and things are worthy of doing. So for you crossover guys, keep watching for that, and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I'm putting new stuff out there, and hopefully keep it interesting for you. Alright guys, that's all I got. We'll see you guys next time.